More Plates, More Dates has blown up in the past few years, gaining millions of subscribers, going on the Joe Rogan podcast numerous times, as well as expanding his supplement empire. Except his flagship nootropic stack, Gorilla Mind Smooth, is it worth it? Is it worth the hype? Does it actually work? We're gonna answer all these questions. You know, and I always held off reviewing pre-formulated stacks just because I've had bad experiences in the past where I would take a stack for a length of time and then only realize later that it was not working for me and it was giving me some bad side effects. You know, like MindLab Pro, right? Except I eventually caved in. I kept reading all about Gorilla Minds and I got kind of immersed in Derek's videos, so I was like, let me try it. And so I tried it. I spent around $100 because I got it and some other products too. And I've been trialing it for the past few weeks. And I have to say some good things and some bad things about it. The reason why it is good is just because of the formulation, the nootropics that are included in it. First off, there is cholinergic enhancers in that it dials in your cholinergic activity to Mark 10. So you have huperzine A, alpha GPC, uridine monophosphate, and alcar acetyl L-carnitine. So if you optimize cholinergic function, you will optimize memory, as it is quintessential to that process. Even look at treatments for some neurodegenerative diseases like dementia. Commonly what is prescribed is acetylcholinesterase inhibitors because it allows more acetylcholine to stay in the brain and to elicit its effect, because it is so vital for memory, short-term, long-term, episodic, all of that. So huperzine A and ginkgo biloba are some of the strongest natural over-the-counter acetylcholinesterase inhibitors, as well as having a lot of ancillary effects for dopamine, surprisingly, where they both increase dopamine in the prefrontal cortex. Alpha GPC and alcar, both of these are substrates or precursors in their own way, where alpha GPC is more of a direct precursor, supplying choline at around 40% choline per 100 milligrams, more of a substrate. Acetyl L-carnitine increases the conversion from choline to acetylcholine by donating an acetyl group and has positive effects for the dopamine D1 receptor and increasing nerve growth factor. Uridine monophosphate is a natural dietary compound that we already consume, believe it or not. This helps optimize cholinergic usage, as well as has some positive effects for the dopamine D2 receptors. Dopaminergic enhancers, so L-tyrosine, L-theanine, both of these are amino acids. Both of these increase dopamine. L-tyrosine is an amino acid commonly found in chicken that is the dopamine precursor, so increasing mood, memory, and motivation via dopamine increase, where L-theanine is an amino acid commonly found in green tea in small amounts. Serotonergic enhancers, both of these herbs are unique in their effect profile, with Bacopa monnieri being more of a memory powerhouse with its ability to increase serotonin via multiple pathways, to inhibit acetylcholinesterase, increasing acetylcholine, and to enhance neurogenesis. Saffron is a coveted spice and actually one of the world's most expensive spices. It has equal efficacy to treating depressive symptoms as a lot of popular antidepressants, and to treating ADHD symptoms as methylphenidate. Crazily, it also increases dopamine in the prefrontal cortex because it's a 5-HT2C antagonist, which regulates the release of the catecholamines in the PSC. So there's a lot of good effects, as well as it inhibits the reuptake of serotonin, hence the good mood effects commonly experienced from saffron. Sounds great on paper and even on a supplement bottle, except how does it work out in real life? Well, my experience is that mine, so you might not notice the same experience as me, except what I did notice from it is that it is very smooth. You know, Gorilla Mind Smooth, it is a smooth ride. You know, you don't feel stupidly stimulated or just like your mind is going 1,000 miles a second. You feel fairly smooth. It's nice in that way. Sometimes when I did dose it a little bit too high, it was a little bit too sedating for me and I fell asleep on the ride. Except I just needed to take something stimulating to kind of balance it out, or just dose it lower. So I find I kind of stayed within a 2 to 3 capsule dosage range just because I'm sensitive and that's what worked for me. It's also mood boosting. Like, it gives you a little pizzazz, you know, it's a little bit uplifting as well, which is nice. Nothing in the euphoria stage, but just enough to kind of make you laugh a little bit more at jokes, or smile a little bit more at work, or take more pleasure in just doing mundane tasks. I found I would just joke a bit more with my colleagues, and I would just laugh a little bit more, or I would just talk about stupid things a little bit more, but just feel a little bit looser, I guess is a good way to put it. The best and the worst thing about Gorilla Mind Smooth for me is that it made me sharp, and it also made me spacey, just like Kevin, in that it would enhance my memory a little bit, where I would remember things that I haven't thought about for a long time, except also on that coin, it would make me super spacey in that I would do something and just forget what I'm doing. Or I would walk into a room and just forget, like, why did I walk into this room? Stuff like that. Like, or I would have a thought and then I would think about that thought and then I would just forget what I was thinking about. And that is contradicted, and that is annoying. And I kind of wondered what this would be from, except I thought about it, this weird spacey brain fog. It's from the L-theanine content, because I'm one of those subset of people that respond adversely to L-theanine, and I believe this is because L-theanine is an antagonist at the AMPA and the Coranty glutaminergic receptors. Receptors very important for cognition and memory. So if you lower activity, you lower cognition, and some people are probably a bit more sensitive to this effect than others. Hence why most people get good effects from L-theanine, except not all people. Naturally though, that is the case with every substance or supplement. So I thought, what if I increase activity of these receptors so that I can combat the lower activity of it from L-theanine? And I did this with aniracetam, which is a PAM at both those receptors, and it did help a little bit, except only a little bit, nothing amazing or miraculous or so. Maybe I can stack more AMPA-PAMs in the future, like oxiracetam or piracetam all together, make that stack, see if that works for me, the POW stack, if you will. And that is unfortunately the true and blue with it about formulated stack, in that there is so much variability in responsiveness to nootropics that some people will respond yay to this and nay to that. And with a supplement stack of 15 ingredients, it only takes one ingredient from that supplement stack that involves a person responding negatively to it. The pros, it is very affordable. Like, the ROI with this supplement is very good, in that the price is fair, and even more so, there's sales going on all the time, 10 to 20% or so. So that's good, and you definitely get more bang for your buck, where in a supplement bottle, you get a good healthy amount of doses. It's not like Alpha Brain, which kind of like scams you a little bit with the dosage. The ingredient profile is impressive. It's good. It is a decent, well-rounded effect profile, with some of the good old L-tyrosine balanced out with the Dopaminergic, enhanced with the saffron extract. Like, it is good. And there is the convenience where you can just take it and go and do what you need to do. I feel like this would be a good formulation for sports because it enhances cholinergic function, which is very important for your fine motor movements. And you know, the biggest con was just my responsiveness to it, except that's just me. Honestly, there's not really any, and I'm not trying to hype this up too much. I definitely believe it is the best product or so. I'll still have to review like Quality of Mind at some point in the future and kind of see where it stands compared to that, except this definitely takes the cake for me at the moment. And I would recommend it over any other pre-formulated stacks or so. I feel like it's just the best ROI. And if you want to know one of the best and surprisingly oldest nootropics that is so affordable it should be illegal, check out this video where I talk about methylene blue that enhances mitochondria function, enhances monoamine oxidase enzymes, and just enhances your overall cognition.